Hey everybody, welcome to Phil's house. Today I'd like to talk about my very first motorcycle. I'm gonna roll the clock back to 2006 when I bought a 2006 model American Lifan LF200III. And that was a fun little bike. American Lifan was a subsidiary of the Lifan Group from China. They're founded in 1992, and they basically got their start with creating clone engines, some scooters, and eventually got into making cars. A lot of what they did in the motorcycle world was clones of Honda designs that they may have actually produced somewhat for Honda at one point, and or bought the machining from Honda for some of their older bikes that are discontinued. The LF203 was based off of an engine using the design from the Honda XL185, and then basically it's changed the size of the bore a little bit bigger, I believe, make it into a 197cc. And so most everything on that engine was cross compatible with the XL185. There's a few very small differences, but you could interchange parts pretty easily. LF203 had a 5-speed transmission, weighed in at 284 pounds, and produced a whopping 17 horsepower, roughly, depending on which of the main variations you wound up with, but 16, 17, 18 horsepower is about all you're going to get out of one of these little single-cylinder engines. You still see these used today in a lot of dual sport / dirt bikes in that size class, as the Honda XL185 motor was pretty much bulletproof. Even in the Chinese variant that I had, I wound up putting about 18 to 22,000 kilometers on that bike. The fluctuation in that is because I had run it for a while without the odometer hooked up. Lost the inside the cable out of it at one point. So I don't have absolute confirmed mileage, but that little motor did hold up. Now, as far as the rest of the bike, not so much. Second day I had it, I lost the rear view mirror. It just popped off going down the road. And then maybe 2-3 weeks later, the front motor mount broke. Just had a bad weld and popped right out of the frame section. So weld that back up. Of course, when that first happened, I've been around motorcycles my whole life, and I did a normal thing a person would do with a brand new motorcycle that had an issue like that, which is take it right back to where I got it from. Well, then I found all about Chinese motorcycles, warranties, and lack thereof, and how pretty much, even if it's a brand new bike, you're going to get it as is, and there is no warranty behind it. You're just kind of left with whatever issues it has. So keep in mind, back then in 2006 though, I spent a whopping $1,200 on this brand new motorcycle. So I had ability and time to go in there and fix the issues it had, and pretty much every month, couple months, I'd have a new issue. Which back then I used to be a commuter rider, so that's my only form of transportation I had was that motorcycle, and I was putting some mileage on it, putting some wear on it, a lot more than a lot of people did on those bikes. But it did get me around, but we had lots of fun times fixing stuff on it. A big issue I had was the weak hub design that bike had, which is just sandcast aluminum hubs, and they had no structural integrity to them at all, really. So even with that whopping 18 horsepower, if I was lucky, I was breaking hubs at least once a year. It just break right out of bolt holes where the sprocket bolts into it. So I think I replaced those 2 times, and then last time I used the steel epoxy and put that on there, and that is actually the last fix I ever did to it. That steel based epoxy held just fine. Just packed it in around where it all broke out, and it held perfectly fine from now on out. So ever since then, I'm a big advocate for the fast steel epoxy, or whatever proper name it's called, which I'll be showing in the video somewhere in a little pop-up, as I don't remember the exact name verbatim at this second, but that's okay.